The night manager at my own hotel burned my dead wife's photo and called me a junkie while pouring my heart medication down the storm drain because I looked homeless after the airline lost my luggage, then kicked me in the ribs and dumped mop water on me before discovering I was actually David Keat, the billionaire who owned the entire hotel chain and had been letting them terrorize vulnerable guests for 3 years. After checking on my sister hotels across 3 continents for 7 days straight, I stumbled into my own hotel in Chicago to finally crash. Between the exhaustion and the donated clothes I'd been wearing since the airline lost my luggage, I looked completely homeless. That's all the night manager Lana needed to see to decide I was going to be her entertainment for the slow night. She glanced up from her computer for maybe 2 seconds before going back to scrolling, using that bored voice hotel staff use when they want you gone. "Can I help you?" When I said I needed a room, she actually laughed in my face and exchanged looks with Josiah, the security guard. My face burned while they discussed me like I wasn't even standing there. Lana asked Josiah if they should call the cops now or give me a chance to leave first, clearly enjoying herself way too much. The disgust in their eyes made my stomach drop. I stood there, exhausted and done with this whole thing, while Josiah walked around the desk, getting close enough that I could smell his cologne mixing with coffee breath. He sniffed at me dramatically and gagged. Oh goodness, he reeks. Like pee and failure. Before I could even process what was happening, he grabbed my collar and shoved me backward hard. I stumbled, and Lana laughed from behind the desk. "Careful, you might catch something," she said, practically bouncing with glee. My back exploded in pain from an old injury, and I couldn't stop the gasp that escaped. Lana immediately jumped on it, clapping her hands together. "Oh my God, the withdrawal shakes are starting," Josiah added. "I've seen this act before. They pretend to be sick while doing a fake trembling impression." When I reached for a chair to steady myself, he kicked it, sliding across the marble. The sound echoed through the empty lobby. That's when they spotted my ring finger. Lana's eyes narrowed as she pointed at the tan line. "Let me guess, your wife left because you're a pathetic hammered?" Josiah piled on, saying I probably hit her with these shaky hands. No wonder she ran. Who could love something like this? My chest tightened because my wife died last year, and somehow they'd found the one wound that hadn't healed. They must have seen something in my face because they both closed in. I was still trying to catch my breath when my wallet fell from my pocket and scattered everywhere. Josiah planted his foot on my driver's license and ground it down. Meanwhile, Lana had already snatched up the photo of my wife. She held it up to show Josiah, and I immediately reached for it, my heart racing. She yanked it away and made some crack about my wife being way out of my league. "Please, that's my wife," I said, but she just smiled and tore the photo in half right in front of me. The sound of ripping paper hit me like a punch. Those torn halves were all I had left of her. I made another desperate grab for the pieces, but Lana already had her lighter out, flicking it open and lit them, while Josiah forced my head down to watch. The ashes hit my face while she told me my wife was gone, just like my dignity. I tried to pull away, but Josiah kept his hand on my neck, pressing harder. That's when something popped in my ribs from the awkward position, and I couldn't help crying out. They finally let me go, and I dropped to my knees, trying to breathe